My name is Rhapsody, his name is sneakyteak, and welcome back to the ladder streak. Ooh, I kind of like the rhyme there.
Ooh, we didn't even think about that until now.
Sneakyteak on that ladder streak. Ooh.
It's nice when the words just line up.
Sneakyteak on the ladder streak and Raps is along for the ride. I like the alliteration at the end as well.
Raps is along. I don't think that's a fair representation of what's going on here.
Oh, it's not necessarily a fair representation, but it fits the scheme.
Sure, that's fair.
So your considerations on this floor for elites versus question marks versus rest. So I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I actually love this. I was, right as we were about to start, I was looking at our relics. Because we have a Matryoshka and a tiny chest on 2. So this is the time where I actually do care about counting question marks. Because relics are pretty good. And it could also give us the opportunity to, like, well, we already have the blue key, right?
Yep.
So I immediately see a left side line, which looks at least a little bit interesting, because it would let us take 2 fights, get a relic, and then take an elite and see a fire. But the end of the left side is kind of meh versus the right side. I will say, though, that in this deck, as it's set up, we don't care about fires nearly as much as we usually do. To be able to take 3 elites and to see lots of fights is really solid. And on the right side, there's an option to get that relic right in the beginning, and then to see 3 elites in the act, which I think is more than we can get on the left.
Yep.
And I would be leaning that way. We have Preserved Insect and a lot of front-loaded power. Even now, Giant Head is not going to be perfect, but we have Liquid Memories to help solve that fight. And so I honestly think that I would go right side here. And if we had to bail out 3 floors in, we could.
I agree. In particular, the right side, I was looking at 1 question mark here, 1 question mark here. You get your 2 question marks to the tiny chest trigger on the Matryoshka. Obviously, you have your Matryoshka trigger there as well. But also the late shop, just in case.
Yeah. Just in case, we still need more answers. And who's our boss?
It's Donu Deka.
Donu Deka. Nice. Uh-oh. I'm behind.
Oh, wait, are you?
Now I'm caught back up. The tubes got tangled briefly, but now it appears that we're in a shapes fight.
Yes.
So we're good.
I'm just making
with
sure
the
that
turn 1 lethal.
Cool.
But do we want that?
Exactly.
Here's where we can start eating a lot.
Is now when we start eating.
I think we can eat so much in this fight. I think that I would just Apparition defend. Yep.
Cool. Agreed.
We could potentially gain 12 health from this fight. This could be an easy hallway fight, which is also a mango. That's insane. Like, that's the power of dual wield feed.
Oh, I never even compare it like that. But yeah, it would be the mango relic.
Yep.
So
this fight is a mango. We've already gotten the draw too.
Apparition, shrug it off, and then dual wield the feed early, or do we not? Do we wait on that?
What I would do is I would Apparition, dual wield feed, and then just play an attack. Because then the feed's lined up next turn to eat Exploder before they do 30 damage. And we're well on our way there. And there's another feed in this deck too, so you could even do the attack with a feed if you wanted to, and we would still have 3 feeds.
What's the consideration for something like a Shrug It Off Apparition and wait until we get an AoE card like a Cleave or a Thunderclap to hit the Akabeko across all of them, setting them all up for feeds?
To open? I wouldn't worry about it too much because they're... Okay, if this were Darklings, yes. But because these enemies all have 30 life, we're not going to have any trouble. That Perfected Strike is 30 damage by itself, right? So that Perfected Strike after the Akabeko proc gets us within 3 death of killing the back line. There's a Shockwave in the deck, I think, and we've got 4 energy now. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about waiting.
Okay.
I would just... Oh, and we've got 4 energy now. So we can totally Apparition and dual wield and do, like... We can get a kill this turn.
A kill this turn?
Yeah. Apparition, dual wield feed on the middle one, and then hit it again.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, I can see that. Then we have
3
the
feeds
extra
in the deck.
Yep.
Or 2 in the deck.
So it's Apparition, dual wield the feed.
Yep. Yeah. That's the coolest thing about feed is that it's not even like Feed could say do 2 damage, and it would still be a good card. But Feed says do 12 damage. So it's like actually decent front load too.
Should we throw the Warcry for literally no benefit here, but to empty out our hand a little so that we don't prevent our draw from getting down to like feed and stuff?
Yeah.
Cool. Doesn't matter what I put at the top. Whew.
And then I guess this turn is perfected and the feed.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's smooth sailing. This is a good
Easy.
sign too. We want to be able to destroy this fight.
We can get those out of hand just for the space.
Heck yeah. There it is. Our child. Yes.
Growing up big and
We are
strong.
raising a very hungry family.
Oh, so I heard you mention it earlier.
Yep.
Second wind.
Yeah. It's good.
But is it? Sell me on second wind.
It's so what second wind does is it is a single card and a single energy that can produce lots of block and lots of exhaust. It's a way to clear through the heart's 5 statuses, as an example.
Mm-hmm.
And it opens your hand up. This is in our boss's Donu Deka. So like against Donu Deka, you could even use it to exhaust some Dazed for a little bit of extra benefit.
Mhm.
I expect the second wind on average to block for 15 and on some turns to block for like more than that.
Mhm.
And that's really solid. And by the time we're playing it, even if we're exhausting away our defense or whatever, we're just opening our hand to finish the fight. So that being said, there is a spot weakness plus here. And we have 4 energy now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if this second wind were upgraded, I snap pick it. I would be okay with taking spot though.
Okay.
And we're gonna
I'm
have
not
so
gonna
much
g-
health.
I'm not gonna give
Yeah.
you time to decide
Yeah.
against that. I'm just going instantly.
No, you should do it. You should do it. It's one of the things I love about this game, actually. Well, there might be an option here where you like defend and then fiend fire to find the feed or something. Yeah, spot weakness
Ooh.
fiend is 10, and then you're down to 4 cards, and that's 40. That's perfect.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
it gives me
it's
as much space.
the more that I play, the more that I find that there are lots of different paths to gold. You know,
Mm-hmm. There's our feed.
there it is.
Just definitely don't twin strike first.
Take it. We get both. Why
Right.
choose? Why choose?
That's
We're
happened
getting
to us
closer
so
to
many
a team
times over
size
the
deck,
course
by
of
the
this
way.
run already.
Yeah, it has. But the more I play, the more I find the shots get called.
Hmm?
Are you gonna dual wield that cleave?
Yeah.
That is awesome. Heck yeah, True Grit, that fire breathing. You already know you want to do it.
Yeah.
Fire breathing.
Do
Fuel.
we throw away the armaments for the 2? No.
Nah, I would just cleave, right?
I realized
We're gonna
halfway
find
through
apparition.
asking that was not a necessary question. It's fine. We just do that. Ooh. So the
We're gonna
last
feed on
one
this
is-
fight too. Yeah.
Yeah, last one's the only one that you can get with a feed.
So is this apparition perfected strike the front one or the middle one so that they're right in line for a cleave kill?
Yep.
Because we're kind of baiting out that last kill, right? Like we want to kind of kill them all on the same turn ish. About. It's such a fun dynamic playing this game together because sometimes I'm explaining things because I think I've seen a clever line, and sometimes I'm explaining things also for, like all of you viewers out there watching. But I also want to make very clear that at no point will I attempt to mansplain this game to Rhapsody. Certainly, I am playing with a very solid player, so it's not my goal to talk about basics. It's just the game is so complex. There's so many different ways to get to a win, and
Yeah.
so I just like to talk through it.
That's totally fine. I mean, also, like, I appreciate that the consideration on part of the viewers as well, because, like, I can't necessarily assume their level of familiarity with the game.
Totally. How? So I like Skip here a lot. This is the first time I've seen Skip that I'm excited about it. Havoc is good too. Cleave I would probably not take. Dual wield means that you don't have to have as much density of certain types of cards because you can just make them.
Mm-hmm.
I really have grown to like dual wield a lot.
We do have already like a lot of attacks in the deck though.
Yep. I could have taken another Havoc, but I'm not as excited about Havoc this time as I was the first time.
I mean, there's fewer triggers for it as well, and they're more spaced out now the deck is thicker.
Mm-hmm. This is our first test of scale in this act. I'm excited for it, actually.
Do we throw away a defend?
I would throw away the defend, and I would hold the headbutt so that we can spot weakness more times. 3 spot weakness and the fight's done. No problem.
Of course, now he goes for the big hit. Do we YOLO a Havoc? See if we get an apparition?
Just recall, though, there is a Fiendfire in the deck now. So whatever you want to play in this hand, you should play first. Like, if you want to spot. Yeah.
Definitely going to spot. I mean...
Do you ever dual wield headbutt here? That way you get a better Fiendfire if you hit it with Havoc. Or it's a weird place, isn't it?
It is. Another consideration that I'm making is, like, the headbutt can get back dual wields. It can get back spot weakness. It can get back decent amount of the cards here. So getting more of those could be useful.
Maybe this is just headbutt the spot, defend, Havoc the spot, and True Grit.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel better
Produce
about that.
as much block as we can, and at this point we've outscaled the fight. We have to take more than we'd like, but that's the point of the feed, is to let us eat that.
Mm-hmm. I like Shockwave, Shrug, throw an attack set up for the next turn, but no, not Shrug, Apparition.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's golden. And there's Second Wind giving us our way out. The Warcry is now worth 7 block if you want it to be.
I'm fine with it. Oh my god. Well, there's both feeds though.
Yeah. And
do we care about ending this fight more than we care about the feeds?
Heck no. I always eat.
So
we can just play
hungry.
4 attacks. Yeah, we're so hungry. Oh yeah, and where are the apparitions? Well, it's okay. We get to potentially see Second Wind pull its weight here.
Spot weakness, Second Wind, maybe a clothesline as well.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Cool. Very, very comfy with that turn.
Super comfy. Agreed. Hi, apparitions. It's fancy meeting you here.
It's weird. I didn't think we had any apparitions in the deck. I was pretty certain from the previous draws that we just definitely didn't have them.
But that turn was perfect because that turn... this deck doesn't need Sword Boomerang, I don't think.
Does it not?
Do you need Sword Boomerang? Because that's okay. If you need Sword Boomerang, then we should put it in the deck.
I do like Sword Boomerang a lot.
I'll tell you what it will do. It will do about 150 damage on like turn 5 against the heart. Yeah. So if you want to be able to go real fast, then that's the card.
There's also the Anger, because just another card we get to throw out of hand, closer to the Shuriken trigger.
Ooh. And Anger also clears, and by our second draw through, we want to win. This Anger may be better than Sword Boomerang.
It also gives us like small directed damage, which is good for setting up for the feeds, whereas Sword Boomerang is oftentimes large undirected damage.
Yeah. Let's take Anger.
Great.
It's a fun card.
Anger, like, it's weird, because like Anger, I think, demonstrates a part of something that happens as you grow in games like this, and that's like at the very start you look at Anger and you go 0 cost deals 6 damage, that's incredible, and then you pick all of them and then you lose, and then you go wait, Anger's garbage, oh of course I should never take Anger, and then you get up through the Ascensions a little bit and then you're like, wait a second, Anger's incredible.
A lot, a little to the middle. I talked about this on stream just the other day. It's this weird path where you go from thinking the card's the best to the worst to somewhere in the middle. And sometimes you have the opposite experience. This card's the worst. How could you ever play Wraith form? You lose dexterity. And then you're like, wait, this card's the best. That's a bad example. It is actually just the best. There's certainly a different example where you go back to the middle, right? But that's the nuance of learning the game. That's the nuance of learning the game.
Yeah, it's just like an interesting way to mark it happening, I feel.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a Shuriken trigger this turn, but I think we like spot weakness, dual wield, double twin strike.
We can get a Shuriken trigger this turn if we dual wield the Twin Strike and just play all 3 of them. It's slower than just playing the spot weakness. Yep. I agree.
But the Nemesis, though. Like, the Nemesis isn't... So, about deterministic attack patterns, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely certain, but I'm pretty sure the Nemesis can't 45 me next turn.
The Nemesis can, absolutely.
Okay.
Turn 2 is the beginning of the 45.
Right.
Yeah. This fight is like mostly non-deterministic with attack pattern. The only thing that is fully deterministic is they cannot 45 on turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
But turn 2 could be 0 or 45. It might even be allowed to be the multi-attack. Actually, let me look at that real quick. Certain fights are sometimes able to repeat an attack. It's like maybe they have a diminishing chance of doing so. As an example, the Book of Stabbing has a 15% chance on turn 1 to hit you with the single attack instead of the multi-attack. But then can never multi-attack more than twice in a row.
Yes. There's like
a lot of little details like that.
There's a lot of the patterns like of those that I've ended up recognizing, but especially with elites that, I don't know, obviously something about them has changed recently in the not being able to 45 on turn 1, and obviously 4 to 5 used to be a different attack. Those ones just aren't really set for me yet.
Interesting. I really like Apparition, Defend, Perfected Strike here.
Yeah, great.
You've still got lots of second wind fuel in hand.
Can I say?
Our deck is big enough now that Fire Breathing won't actually do anything here.
Fire Breathing is 7 block.
Yes.
It's so good.
It's getting stronger. It's getting stronger. It's become an unupgraded True Grit. It's really made a lot of progress in its life.
I'm actually kind of keen on using the second wind to clear out the hand here and then headbutting something back to the top of the deck.
Yeah. Honestly, we just like win with double feed next turn, right? We have 5 strength.
Right. Don't need to make any consideration. You're right.
It's a weird thing though, right? Because I think this is kind of the player's journey too. And except this is part of the player's journey that still gets you even when you've played the game for thousands of hours. I would headbutt or skip, I think, for what it's worth.
We did get the second spot weakness. I'll take the headbutt.
And the other big one is that, like, at some point in time, you get a run where you produce some absurd, like it's 90 strength or something. And you're like, oh, I have to win by getting 90 strength. And then you learn that actually 5 strength is enough to win, like, every fight in the game.
Yep.
Way faster than you think. So we skip an attack so we don't get a parasite? Or do you care?
Usually I'll want 2 attacks at the end of a turn just to make sure that I don't get the parasite, but we are a 36 card deck and we do have 2 True Grits and we have a second wind.
I don't think we're in a race for what it's worth. We can kind of make whatever play here, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna hold. That's obviously spot weakness.
And there's that headbutt to get it again, too.
Unless the enemy rolls away from it.
True. That's a concern. Do you Havoc the spot weakness here? Open the hand?
I do, mostly because like it's a determined draw next turn, and if I can get it out this turn, and I'm never seeing it again anyway, and there's another spot weakness in the deck, I don't really care.
I'm like over on the side looking up Nemesis right now. I'm such a nerd when it comes to this game, and I'm very easily sniped by like learning these kind of patterns, because even with over 2,000 hours of playing Slay the Spire, I just don't remember all of the exact stats.
Especially because like you're going on the ladder, right? So you're going up the levels where people are changing their statistics, their attacks, and their attack patterns eventually.
That's true. So Nemesis is the same in terms of determinism on Ascension 1 and Ascension 20, and turn 1 is 50% burn or triple attack, and after that, it's a 35-35-30 split, so about even between all 3 attacks.
Ooh, what's the
Scythe
30?
and burn. Well, the 30 is, the 30 is the 3rd attack, so that's Scythe. Between burn, triple attacks, and Scythe is the 45.
Yep.
So the 45 has slightly lower chance, and it cannot be used twice in a row. The triple attack can be used twice in a row.
Like, interestingly, so you said 2,000 hours experience yourself as well?
Yeah, that's about where I am, yeah.
2,000 is just crossed 2,000, 2,130.
Nice.
2,113, sorry. But in that same vein, oh, please tell me I haven't forgotten what I was about to say, because I was talking about the statistics of that. I did. I totally forgot it. All right.
Well, it'll come back.
Apparition, maybe? I don't know.
I love Apparition, and I love dual wielding this Anger.
Ooh, going for a smork play here. Dual wield the Anger,
Yeah.
Thunderclap, Anger.
Yeah. And you just play it as many times as we can get away with to avoid Parasite, right?
That's a debuff as well. Is that? No, it's not the debuff. Okay, sorry. It was just hanging out there for a moment.
It's very misleading how the green swirl sticks around.
It's rude. How dare it, frankly.
Dude.
I think we definitely have lethal. It's just which card does it.
Right.
So
maybe this is like now Headbutt Anger Feed or something like that, or is Headbutt Feed enough?
I think it's Headbutt Feed. Yeah. Great.
Many ways to eat the spaghetti. But you will clear the whole plate.
So we have a shop here if we avoid the extra. No, we're not going to avoid the extra elite. But we have a shop here, and then we have a shop next floor. Do you have any consideration of taking an ancient potion here for a speculative flex or a speed potion?
I love the ancient potion here, and it's actually for a different reason entirely. Ooh. And it's
the first debuff applied by the heart is vulnerable.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
So over Fairy, because I like Liquid Bronze for the heart fight, but
I dropped the Liquid Bronze, and here's why. Liquid Bronze is sweet damage. It's for us, what, 39 damage a cycle? But also, we're not gonna have trouble with damage.
Okay.
The feed.
Yeah.
I think I would take a Feel No Pain.
Yeah.
I think I would take the Feel No Pain. It's upgraded. We do have all the exhaust things now. It gives us a lot of block while we're getting to like spot weakness and Twin Strike or whatever it is, whatever our end game is.
100%.
Love it. Love it.
Love it entirely.
I wish we could. My only sadness is not being able to upgrade those Arma. Oh, I love dual wield Anger in this hand too.
And an armament for the extra damage?
Yeah. Because by the time we see these Angers again, we're playing them.
Do we have any consideration for Havoc for the fact that two times it hits the Shockwave or the Thunderclap. One time it kills us.
Does it though? It kind of does. I would just play out the hand, I think. And then I would be willing to Havoc at the end, potentially. Okay. But I think we really want these Angers in the redraw and to get a couple Shuriken procs. But you could definitely play Havoc now, because if it hits like Perfected Strike, it's just a lot of damage.
Damn it!
Oh, Thunderclap.
I knew it!
You did call it. You knew. I should have known.
It's okay. I mean, like, as you were talking about earlier, right? There are certain plays that you will make and won't make depending on the fact that we're trying to streak. And a 1 in 26 to lose, it's not a good gamble to make.
Yep. Especially if it doesn't save any life. That's the key thing, right? It's not just risk. I get this in stream a lot. I'm also like, you feel free to play however you think. I think
sure.
we're basically there. That was a really strong turn. People always say something in stream along the lines of, "Oh, no risk, no reward." Like you gotta greet it. And the thing that I always respond is that that's actually lacking a lot of nuance, because the entire game is risk reward analysis. We're constantly doing risk reward analysis, but there's a little more to it than that. Does taking that risk decrease the chance that we take 40 damage on this turn, right? That's the real thing that you're weighing, is what does it save you if you roll the best way?
You have to consider the outcomes. I'm thinking like second wind right now and then throw an attack.
And in that case, I would play out the Feel No Pain, just because it's overblock on this turn, but it will pay for itself.
Yeah,
when we if we have to Fiend Fire to block next turn or something awkward. Although I think we're there, right? We have 8 strength and vulnerable, and this is an enemy that has slow as an effect that they do.
Yep, just Twin Strike for 44, and then 57 going to be modified by 10%. So, wait, hang on, modified by. See, this is one of the things, right? When you have slow, vulnerable, and strength,
We got him. We definitely got him, though. That much is clear.
Oh, 100%.
There's
It's
the
just
feed. Yep.
it's just like directly counting that is an annoyance.
Sundial is such a cool relic that I don't proc as much as I should.
All you got to do is thin deck daddy it for a while. You got 8 cards in your deck and 2 of them are a pommel strike. Get ready. You're getting cards, bud.
But I've built just the other day. I built a silent deck that was 35 cards and cycled every other turn. So you can still do it. Interesting. I'm skipping here. I can see an argument for Rage, especially with like the dual wield anger shenanigans. But honestly, I think at this point it just makes us thinner. I think we get a couple more feeds and we find like one more solid kind of scaling defensive card, right? Something like Disarm. And we're there.
Is there anything to the Thunderclap with the champion belt applies a weakness? We only have 1 Thunderclap in the deck already, as well as 1 Shockwave in a 38 card deck, wanting to get weakness before the first cycle of the first attack by the heart.
Yeah, sure. Click the card. I like the card. And we've got Donudeka, and we're going to like make some strength, and so it's AoE.
So another thing I'm looking at here is I can't imagine discarding any of these for it, but Blessing of the Forge makes it so that we don't have to rely on the armaments in order to keep our apparitions. And in the heart fight, that matters.
That's actually pretty good. No, I think the others are barely better here. Can I see the act? Can we upgrade a couple of them?
Yes. The apparitions, we can upgrade 3 before the end of the act.
Well, we got to get a red key still, but
2 before the end of the act.
We can upgrade 2 and then maybe 1 in the next act, and that's actually really good. So I think we don't need it because we'll just choose to upgrade them. Nice. Those things still could be reasonably relevant. Like, we need energy, so.
Definitely. I mean, and we always have the ability to meet the amount of energy we have with extra cards out of hand.
Right. What do you think? I'm big in on upgrading some apparitions. We can recall now to like hedge our bets if we need to.
That's what I'm thinking, just in case this is awful and we have to heal. I'm not saying that'll ever happen, but like, you know, we don't need them.
It could be. Really bad draws against Reptomancer can be really punishing. If we didn't have so much max health, I'd be worried.
Huh, speaking of.
There it is.
Speak of the very literal devil.
Turn 1. Good turn 1.
Yeah, spot weakness kills the backliner and then draws us a card.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
We drew out 9 block. Oh, come on. It's... So
okay,
can I pitch you on this?
Yes, pitch me.
So second wind goes back to the top of the deck. I use True Grit to burn the fire breathing. I underblock by 1, triggering the Centennial Puzzle. I fill my hand next turn.
That was exactly my suggestion.
Great.
That's perfect. The Centennial Puzzle to have a really stacked turn 2 is awesome. And second wind in case we had to block for a ton. Although with apparitions in the deck, right, we're probably okay. This is a good example of where this changes a lot post Ascension 15 too. Because post Ascension 15, the apparition density in this deck is really low. We've got 3 out of 38 cards, right? Like, we're frequently not drawing an apparition for 3 turns. But since we have 5, pretty rare for us to not see the app.
Just going to pick up some extra strength there to make this fight a little quicker.
You appear to have won. You appear to have 12 strength. I mean, we want to feed, but it's crazy how strong you got so quickly.
It's a good draw right there. Definitely a good draw. Trying to get a couple of these cards out of hand. Oh, Fiend Fire's in hand. Never mind.
Yeah, do it. Smack him.
No, get smacked. Not weakened next turn. We'll have it.
Yep. Heck yeah.
Get him.
This thing that we've done. Wow, even more. It's late, but it's not too late.
It's not too late to still give us some value. Oh!
There's that limit break you wanted. Take it. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Leave the health behind, Raps. You don't need it.
I need it.
I need these 2 HP so badly. Blue Candle means that Parasite that we left in that pile of spaghetti could give us card draw. It's a cool interaction. I like that one a lot.
I do really like that, like specifically the blue candle Centennial puzzle that you're talking about here. Like a lot of the time I'll end up with, in dailies, a lot this will happen to me. Because a lot of the dailies give you more relics that you end up collecting, but also I'm very keen on getting curses in the dailies for the curses modifier.
Oh gosh, yeah, I don't have as much experience with dailies. I do Ascension 20 dailies sometimes, where I load up the daily, copy the modifiers in the seed, and then load it at Ascension 20 in a custom run. And those are really fun. I would upgrade Apparition still, honestly. Like, in most fights, a single limit break is going to be more than enough, and the others you can wait for the armaments. Okay. Just having a couple Apparitions that are guarantees to hold for the right turn against the heart is going to be really valuable.
All right, I wasn't considering the fact that you can hold... Oh.
Nice relics. Really, really nice relics. We barely whiffed on tungsten and orange pellets.
Just.
But I like it.
We overlock on some of the turns?
What the tungsten does in particular is that when you apparition, you're still taking 12 damage, or are you? Not with tungsten.
That's true, but
tungsten's crazy.
One of the things I'm looking at is like orange pellets, and then if you have orange pellets, and wait, we only have 1 power and 2 powers in the deck. Okay,
yep.
Orange pellets.
Although you can dual wield them. Dual wield hits powers too, which is honestly a little wild. I would instantly click this tungsten rod, but I do think that there are many arguments to take the orange pellets. I think the calipers comes up short in this run. Even with the apparition letting us overblock on some turns, we just lack the core to really do that. But I think you could, and orange pellets also leaves you with more money for the Act 4 shop, right? So that's a strong consideration.
Sorry, I'm just gonna exclamation mark CWBH.
That's right. That is on my channel. That's true. Calipers would be good here. It's normally true. It's normally true.
So the second thing that you said to do here was float the money?
Yeah. Do we have any more fights, or is that it?
So we're done.
Okay, then that's fine. Yeah, it's the biggest thing. If Tungsten Rod weren't Tungsten Rod, if it were a different rare relic, I might have chosen not to do it there, just to be able to walk into the Act 4 shop with enough money to buy like incense burner, right? Or one of these really crazy mitigation relics. But
obviously,
I think
Tori.
It was Tungsten Rod, so that made the decision a little easier, I think. How do you feel about Anger Headbutt?
I mean, I'm always looking for, okay, which card is going to do the multi-strike to use my Akabeko on, but I don't think I need to hold it. I think I'm wasting more damage by holding those two than I am.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the one thing is Art of War, and by not playing anything this turn, you just have an extra energy to play those things next turn, so you're not really losing any energy. It's almost like having Ice Cream here. So if you wanted to wait for the Thunderclap or for the Twin Strike or whatever, you don't really lose out on anything here. And you might save yourself a Shuriken proc. Honestly, it's a pretty good play, I think. Skipping Anger Headbutt, you save the energy. I like it. We're not overdrawing.
The thing that sold me on that was the Shuriken, definitely. Cleave is a decent open.
Yeah. And there's that upgraded apparition. Putting in work already. I'm so excited. Yeah. They're going to matter. They're going to matter.
It's going to be huge.
So you headbutting Anger or the Cleave? Or neither?
I'm actually thinking Twin Strike.
Okay. Push down Donu?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once Donu's dead, fight's done.
Pretty much. Unless you took way too long to kill him.
Sure. And if we didn't have 118 HP.
Okay.
Curious.
Do we take the hit this turn, not using the apparition? Like a shrug it off, True Grit, possibly on Warcry, because a lot of these cards are really good.
Yeah. What you could do also, check this line. Well, then you're playing the apparition, I guess. I was going to say you could Warcry the Limit Break in second wind, and that's actually a solid block, but losing the apparition seems wrong. I like Shrug True Grit. I like that.
Cool. It can burn a strike now instead.
Sure.
Wait, can it? Because if we burn the Warcry, we can Fiend Fire?
Yeah, here's why. We're going to double feed in this fight, and I don't actually think we need that much pace. Like, we're going... With the Limit Break in the deck now, we're going to outscale this fight. So, one thing I really love about this fight, by the way, is we've had a bunch of these cards that we've picked up and not ended up getting a ton of value out of. Fiendfire we picked up, and we've played it once, maybe? We picked up a Fire Breathing, and the only thing we've done with it is exhaust it. I don't think we've played it a single time. But that doesn't mean that it was a bad choice, because we're playing towards different outcomes. If we hadn't found the apparitions, the Fire Breathing would have guaranteed that we beat some of those scary Act 2 and Act 3 elite fights.
Yeah.
And if we hadn't found a fourth energy, or if we had needed to push more damage against Giant Head, Fiendfire could close. So even having a card in your deck that never does anything can give you options in the universe where it needed to do something, right? And I think that's really cool to think about.
It's the hindsight is 2020 situation, right? You
Sure.
only know that it wasn't good because we took it and it didn't end up being good. But in the situation where we took it and it was good, you wouldn't have thought about whether or not it was good in the deck.
Right. And here we get to see the power of Feel No Pain, which will make a ton of block for us this turn if we wanted to.
Oh, is that the play? Feel No Pain and then just strike.
You could Second Wind, or you could True Grit a strike, and that's 13 block by itself. The Warcry's another 4. It's either way.
I'm keen with the second. Yeah, I'm good in the second wind.
Sure.
Strike, draw a card. Oh.
Nice. Only thing, well, let's think. I guess we don't want to waste like an Apparitions block here, because we're already blocking pretty well.
Yep.
So that's the reason to hold. Even Havocing Feed would be okay, because we've got the other in a dual wield.
Okay. We don't have the apparition though. Oh no.
No, it's okay. This is the Havoc turn, I think.
Take
Spot
the
weakness
hit.
and then Havoc. Spot weakness and then Havoc, and that's making block for us. And it could hit Apparition. If it hits dual wield, we dual wield whatever we need to. And we can even make some weakness on this turn, maybe.
What are you referring to Havocing? Because I'm referring to putting Headbutt to limit break back atop the deck to make the rest of the fight a cakewalk.
Oh, you could do that. You could totally do that. I was just going to Havoc for the potential Apparition. But Havocing limit break, it ends the fight. And then we're getting a full heal. At a higher Ascension, I would have been nervous about this play. Because I think saving the health is really valuable. Do you Shockwave here, though, for the block?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that because the thunder, like these two thunderclaps are effectively a mini shockwave if you want to think about it like that.
Yeah, because the champ belt now. Yeah. And then we should be able to close. No problem. Apparition.
Thunder.
Where have you been?
Thunder. Oh, we're not going to be able to get a Havoc proc this turn on the
Wait, is this feed lethal?
Oh,
on the backline?
Yeah.
So there's your Shuriken proc.
Oh, never mind.
Just Apparition and we're golden. Oh, and there's the new one. Perfect. Well, that couldn't have gone better.
I thought I was going to save
extra
myself
energy,
hand space, but instead the ink bottle drew.
We call it Trader Bottle sometimes. That was actually the same streamer who introduced this challenge to me, Baylor Lord, is the person who I first heard refer to the bottle as Trader Bottle. And I think it's hilarious. Because so often I've accidentally drawn a card that I don't want to draw with Ink Bottle. Overall, I still think that the Relic is quite good. It's just, it'll catch you unaware. Because it's 10 procs, right?
Yeah. It definitely is. Like, it's something that I feel like really good at the game when I play around it correctly. And then when I stop thinking about it, it will invariably immediately screw me. And then I feel bad.
Yes. But isn't that good when you get that feeling of like, wow, I planned for this?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Nice run, by the way. Happy Act 4. This is our first ladder run together. I'm super excited that we got here so smoothly.
Yeah, no, it's been very, very good. I mean, the game has been very kind as well, but we're also running like a kind of like atypical kind of deck. Like it doesn't just put up giant block, put up giant damage, win the game.
We leaned in, and we did a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't have done when I first started the game. I used to turn up my nose to Apparitions, and I used to turn up my nose to Runic Pyramid. And both of them were a key part of making a deck that was just incredibly consistently powerful.
Yeah. Fiendfire was my big like turn up my nose at it consistently, but it's
Really?
going to be a great finisher here.
Sure.
So it's the
Or
apparition, right?
Even a mid-game, just to clear the deck out to get... Yeah, I like this upgrade a lot.
Cool.
Even mid-game, just to make it to where we cycle spot weakness faster. That's the reason I take Fiendfire so aggressively, is when you need it to do damage, it does damage, and when you need it to just empty your hand, you can do that too. Whoa. Solid potions.
There's a duplication potion I'm looking at very intently right now.
Yeah, you want to close the fight real quick. That dupe pod is probably better than our liquid memories. This liquid memories, by the way, we have held on to since Act 1. But being able to dupe the limit is just like, it's game over.
But I mean, liquid memories is effectively dupe the limit, right? It's the same.
But dupe can do one more thing, which is to dupe apparitions. If we're too slow, we can play an apparition twice and make it 6 turns of invincibility. So in this deck, I think that the duplication potion is stronger than the liquid memories. And I think it's stronger enough that it's worth spending money doing that replacement. Because there's nothing else here that's super duper exciting. Shrug It Off is okay. Another armaments, maybe. Card removal's fine.
Is there any consideration for getting rid of Fairy in a Bottle instead of the liquid memories so that you can use liquid memories as well, giving you the ability to triple limit break if that's an option, or double an apparition and still double limit break?
How strong do you want to be?
It's less how strong I want to be and more like how much energy do I want to spend on attacks per turn to hit like near the 300, start getting the enemy down to like only 1 turn to kill them, and how much energy do I want to spend on my defense.
35 health, but by the time we've run out of 126 HP, we want to win the fight anyway. And I'm fine with that line. I think that line's fine. The other option was to drop the artifact because we were just going to dupe an apparition and not worry about vulnerable, but I think this is great. And dupe lets us be more aggressive in the Act 4 elite fight, which is frequently how people lose Act 4. You don't think about it, and then you take 60 damage there, and all of a sudden, that's all your life for the heart, right?
Yeah, especially in the higher ascensions, I find
turn 2.
When I'm going for the heart, yeah, exactly, it'll kill me on turn 2. And a lot of the time I'll be like, I played for the heart and then I lost to the Spires. Oh, no.
Yep. Because turn 2 can represent 61 damage when you only have 3 real cards in hand because you have 2 burns on top of your deck. And it's a brutal turn. Absolutely.
The 2 burns on top of the deck is singularly why, like, as doing this in higher ascensions as the Ironclad, I'll take that evolve. I'll take it.
Yep.
Gimme.
Do you want that on sale shrug so that we have an even 40 cards?
Yeah.
It's just about the card count. It's not a real strong strategic reason. Heck yeah. That's solid.
Shrug for the draw first.
Oh, wait, hold up. Okay, hear this plan. Okay. Yeah, shrug first. And do we ever wait to shockwave next turn and play the apparition now because of weakness? If we shockwave next turn, the vulnerable lands, which also gives us a turn of weak, which reduces that 10/3 to a 7/3 in case we don't see app.
We shockwave next turn. So, sorry, what is the difference for it shockwaving next turn rather than this turn?
So the enemies have 1 artifact. The artifact will block the weakness, but the vulnerable will land, which gives us 1 more weakness because of the champion's belt, which means shockwave next turn can reduce the incoming damage, or we can reduce incoming damage now. It's just a question of which one's better, right?
No,
I think apparition now and hold the shockwave is slightly better.
Yeah. Ooh, do you have like a specific target you focus on here?
I think that I am going to burn down. Lately, I've been killing shield a lot more often first, but I think that here I clothesline the spear.
Keep it weaker for more turns when we play the shockwave next turn?
Yeah.
Into it.
Although I guess the turn 3 is the real turn where we're worried about shield doing 50 damage, but by then we'll just like have apparitions and win, is the plan.
Ooh, Feel No Pain, Warcry, the shockwave back atop the deck, Havoc to play it, then throw out like a Perfected Strike something?
Yeah, that's awesome. And if we happen to see an apparition, we'll just play it. If we don't, then we don't.
Oh!
Nope. Wait, we did. Thank you, Ink Bottle. I mean, I guess... Actually, you know what? Yeah, I wouldn't play this apparition. I would defend Perfected because right now the apparition blocks for 8 or whatever, or no, 9. 11. Next turn, it could block for 50, depending on what we see. And we have enough health to take that.
Definitely does block for 50.
Are we going to get to feed twice? That's my real goal now.
Oh, that's so greedy against these, but I'm into it.
We totally can. We're strong enough. Shield's already almost dead, or spear rather. Yeah, we've got the double feed. Especially with an apparition in hand. Taking that little bit of damage in the beginning. But then, is that even worth it, right? Because it comes out the same. Funny. Oh, man.
Sorry, is which even worth it?
So we're about to gain 8 max HP.
Yeah.
We took about 8 damage to do it. I guess we heal it off with Burning Blood, so we do come out ahead.
Yeah.
I would do it just for the principle of it, though.
Oh, yeah, you have to do it for the cool factor.
Exactly. Hold up. Do we have any draw? I was going to say we could headbutt a spot here, but we don't. So I guess we just like Arma to full block and play a strike or something, or Arma and headbutt or something.
Yeah. I mean, is there anything we want to headbutt back at top? Right? I guess. Yeah, if no, wait, if we headbutt the perfected strike, it'll kill.
We don't actually want to bring any more damage on top, right? We just like need to get to the feed. I guess second wind will help us get there too.
I kind of like second wind to get rid of the cards in hand right now. Because we can kill suddenly if we need to.
Sure. I like that. That probably increases our chance actually of landing that. Kill suddenly when needed.
I'd like that to be like my code name.
Yeah, kills suddenly when needed.
Or like the description of my character in a roster shooter, like a TF2 or something.
What are you gonna headbutt?
I don't want to headbutt anything is the thing.
Yeah.
It's constantly testing myself on it. There you go.
It's okay, we've got the goodies next turn. Oh, well we kind of do. I mean, Apparition is goodies. Yeah, it's gold.
We finally played the limit break.
It happened.
Limit break. Sorry, the fire breathing.
It had a purpose, and its purpose was to get out of the hand without doing damage.
Ooh! Oh no, it's not better than any of those, but still.
Is it though? Now wait a minute.
Is it
Hear
not?
me out. The flex potion is 5 strength, and we do have an artifact right there.
Mm-hmm.
It gets us started faster with limit breaking. Is it possible that it's faster? That's 2 potions just for the goal of making strength. No, you're right. It's not. It's
yeah,
not.
that's
what we have is very safe and good. I'm just at this point. I'll be honest. I feel very confident that we can take this to a win. I'm just trying to figure out how large we can make the strength number. So that's why I am the way that I am.
Very big. B-I-G-G. First G is capitalized. Second is lowercase.
That's right. That's right.
I think it's the max HP here.
Yeah, agreed. In we go. Oh, I actually don't have sound on my side, but I can hear it anyway. I know this tune.
Mm-hmm.
I am one with this tune.
Just immediately starts playing in your head as soon as you see the heart.
Yep. We can empty this hand, basically. T-clap, clothesline, strike, twin strike. It's beautiful.
We can. Yeah, I was just making sure that the interaction does work where the tungsten rod still blocks the Centennial Puzzle.
It does, which is so nice. It's part of the reason why I liked the tungsten here. And then, are we going to artifact to block the vulnerable still? I think we should. It's like 30, 40 points of block. It's really a lot of life.
It's interesting that, like, there are a couple of different enemies that give you all 3 debuffs at the same time, but they do it in different orders. Like, the Collector gives you weakness first.
Yeah.
We're saving the armaments for the limit break, right? So we can throw it back to the top of the deck?
Yeah. So Tungsten Rod is an interesting circumstance to where you are incentivized to play out all of your non-block cards before you play your block cards because you fully block Beat of Death. We didn't have a different play there anyway, but it's just an interesting point. If we were going to like strike, strike, shrug, shrug, you want to play the strikes first.
Yep. It's interesting how, like, you know, there are so many different things in this game that modify it by just that one little thing.
Yep. So do we bother to Apparition to block for alt 24? Probably. It's a good block.
Do we though? Apparition is way more powerful on other turns. Like here, we're taking 12 damage because the 24, like, it's mitigated already half by the tungsten rod.
True. It's only a 12 damage turn, and we could certainly just like feel no pain and then play out every attack, right?
Yep.
And I think that's fine. Well, I guess we would want to spot too.
Yeah, feel no pain, spot, anger, strike,
burn.
strike.
We should play a feed. It's a little bit of block too. We'll keep the other feed and we'll land it.
Okay.
We're gonna eat the heart.
I love the commitment to get the max HP.
We're gonna eat the heart. I'm very hungry.
But it's a trigger on this turn of Shuriken.
It's true.
Do you care about the heart more or getting big strength number?
I'm not gonna lie. I need to eat this heart.
All right, I agree.
I have to. And we have 2 apparitions in hand, so we can afford to be so foolish.
Oh, it's also like another card out of hand as well.
I know. It's everything is wrong. This is suboptimal play, but it's optimal play.
Oh, it's testing my resolve so much.
You're doing great. You're doing awesome. So, are you prepared to get so strong on this turn?
It's time to be strong, I think.
Yep. You've got all the potions to do it.
Strong me?
Yes. Even further. It's all the pieces. We are 56 strong. We can get more, potentially. We should apparition this turn. It is a 36-point block. So
yeah. You're right. The tungsten was definitely the right pickup.
It's so strong. I've seen it win runs so many times. Do we wield that fire breathing?
I was thinking about exactly that. We could, because there's a void still in the deck. That's like 30 damage when we draw it.
Damn it! It could be 30. It could be so. We should headbutt the limit. That much is clear to me.
Yes.
We should dual wield headbutt. Wait. Okay. Hear me out. True Grit, that fire breathing. True Grit the wound. At least it gets out of the way. Dual wield the headbutt, and then play headbutt to limit break multiple times. We will get so strong. We're actually going to get so strong that we're going to have trouble not winning with the headbutt, which is ideal.
Love it. I'm into it. Do we also throw this? No, spot weakness. He's not attacking. Wait, are you attacking next turn? Hang on. We're on the first attack of the second. No, second attack of the second cycle. It's not attacking.
Yeah, this is turn 5. We're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we just throw a thunderclap, get it out of hand?
We have to. We have to. We can't afford to do very much damage, but then I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
So
I'm trying to get this number into the minis of hundreds. Yeah. I would just E. Agreed. I should clarify for those of you who are perhaps tuning in later that this play is not optimized around taking the least damage. It's optimized around making the red number get as big as possible at that point.
Red number is good. So hang on.
Red number to go up.
We are currently on the 9th with the ink bottle, so we could get the armaments and use it to keep that apparition for the next turn.
We could.
And we have another headbutt in hand to get the next limit break.
That's smart. Is it possible for us to die next turn? Actually, it is, isn't it? We're about to be on 5 strength, and that's 7 by 12, which is 84 damage. Wait, no, we cannot die next turn. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
So whatever you want to do. It's a clever play. It's a very clever play.
I mean, I guess play the apparition. He's going to lose it at the end of the turn anyway.
Yep. And then, oh, dang, too bad we can't headbutt again.
Number is getting very large.
Headbutt the limit. Headbutt the limit and defend, I guess, because we don't want to True Grit and accidentally hit our feed. That would be really tragic. Yes, we got the number so big. Oh, and the heart is even weakened. It's time to eat. It's time.
460 damage? Think it's enough?
It's enough. I think it's enough.
I'm just gonna get some defense first.
Sure. Nice.
I actually don't even have the ability to like set up vulnerability or anything. It's just.
Wait, is there any chance that we could have landed it again?
The limit break again?
Think about it. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the remainder of that deck was trash, so it would have been basically up to the draws.
Yeah. Yep. We would have been stuck. GG, Rhapsody.
Thank you, GG. Right back at you, Sneaky.
Yeah. The power of feed. It just buys you so much buffer space. It hits this point in Act 3 usually, where you have so much health that you're like, I'm taking 60 damage from Reptomancer. Okay, I'll just rest. You can't do that in a normal run. You have to snowball HP to do that.
There's also the secondary effect, which is rest as a percentage of your HP restored, so you get a larger sum back.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, that was a pretty damn good run, if I say so myself. We'll be back at you later with a silent in Ascension 2. I know I asked you to do it at the end of the first video, but being the end of the first run, why don't you just remind us what you do and where you do it?
Of course. So I am sneakyteak. I'm a full-time broadcaster on Twitch. You can find me at twitch.tv/sneakyteak, although Rhapsody says all this stuff will be below the video.
Yep.
And I am planning sometime over the summer to roll out YouTube and other socials like that. And so I'm looking forward to learn a lot from Rhapsody and hopefully see some of y'all there.
Excellent. Sounds good. Well, for the moment, my name's been Rhapsody. His name has been sneakyteak. There is all the links that you could possibly need in the world in the description down below. Absolutely all of them. You lost contact with your pen pal when you were 7. Guess what? Their address is in the description down below. Just go check.
That's weird. How did you have that?
Yeah, look, it does require a lot of spying. I have broken many laws in order to get that information, so I really hope people check the description and see all of that information down there. For the moment, though, hopefully you've each been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.